So I have a new figure, and this is Samus Aran from Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, which is on the Switch 2, and I don't own it yet. I did order it from Amazon, and it was supposed to be same day, and something must have happened because I never got it, and so I think I'm going to have to cancel the order and try again. But I was in Japan a little over a week ago, and I saw this figure available, so it was available in Japan earlier, and at a decently lower price. But I had already pre-ordered this, so I did not pick it up. But it was interesting to see it beforehand. So let's get into the figure. So it was I got this off of I got it from Kappa Hobby, and it was about $289, about $290. So it's not a cheap figure, not cheap at all. Probably the best Samus figure. I had considered in the past um, getting the figure because they have Samus Aran from Figma, but I'm glad I didn't because this is, I think, a superior figure. This is from Bandai Namco as part of their Chogokin line. It's a very simple figure, and so we're going to go through all the little things that it does. There are not a lot of extras, and I didn't really have to hardly put it together at all. Although it does have light up features, which I'm going to try to show, even though my room is well lit. It's got some heft to it. I don't know, probably I don't know, 8-9 inches, something like that, maybe 8 inches. I didn't look it up actually. Probably should have. So the light up features, there are two areas you need to put batteries in, and the batteries are type LR41, which I just happen to have already, so I didn't have to purchase them. And then you unscrew here. I have my little tiny screwdriver, which I use, and then you put two LR41 batteries in there. And so I will do the light up features. This was going on and off a lot easier before. What did I do? Okay. There we go. Okay. And then the other area is right here. Oh, come on. And so this one you do have to open up. I didn't have to pull this off because I can switch the... Oh, I have to pull this panel off too. Okay, so that comes off, and then I switch on. There we go. And hopefully you can see it. So it's supposed to kind of show her face in there, although that's just on the plastic here. There's no actual face in there, but it lights up here, 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 here. And then we're going to light up here. Okay. So her gun lights up. Oops, a daisy. Almost had a disaster. Okay. So a lot of this feels like plastic. I think this is plastic. This is probably metal. I think metal, plastic. But it all feels good. I'm not like putting it down saying a lot of plastic because I'm going to weigh it in just a moment. So this part here is removable, and then you can put in this alternate gun. Okay. And it's a shame that they couldn't just make this open up, that we have separate pieces rather than allowing it to open up. That's a little bit, for the price I paid for this. Although, like I said, it was cheaper in Japan. I'm going to first bring up one issue I have, is that there's no rotation in the elbows, and I think that's a shame because I think it feels like this should rotate so that I can more easily pull this panel off, but you can't. As to it's got some really, I mean, the articulation is just meticulous on this one. Bandai generally does a really nice job, and this one is so beautiful and clean. You know, the Samus looks very strong here, but it does have sort of a feminine shape to it. The shoulder pads here can kind of come down like that. And the reason for that is just so that you can put the arms up like that. Okay. There we go. And so you can also pull it out. I mean, it shows it in the instructions, so I guess they really care about that, but it kind of moves the elbows, or the shoulders forward like that. You know, what's weird is, so I'm looking on the screen here, and this part looks blue, but in here it looks purple in reality. So the camera is kind of not capturing the color quite right. So if you look on the cover of the game, or it's more like pink. If you look on the cover of the game, it shows her face as pink. Now I'm going to show, this is the other Metroid game that came out for the Switch 2, which is Metroid Prime. And you can see that the costume, the outfit is almost exactly the same, except it's green. So I guess that's the difference for this version, is it's pink rather than green, even though it might look kind of blue here. The other thing it can do, now these shoulder pads, or these shoulder armor, whatever, they are very encumbering, so it does make it hard to do a lot of stuff. So that's why it's nice that it's able to move around a lot. So these two pieces here will come out, and that's just to allow greater range of motion on the legs, but it does not add a ton. The ab crunch is quite nice. Everything just feels high quality. This feels so good. And they even, so in some cases you need to kind of pry pieces off and stuff. And so they do include a little plastic tool. I was using my fingernails. I don't think you could use that to get this plate off. But I think if you're fiddling around with like the plates on top of the batteries, it's probably helpful to have that. We have a bunch of... Now, Samus only has available her left hand, because the right hand is a gun. I don't know if she has a right hand. Does she? Probably. I think she does. So we have all sorts of hands. We have the open hand. Geez. I mean, okay, so I guess the difference is that this one has kind of pink tips, and this one doesn't. I haven't played the game yet, so I don't know what that means. More of a closed fingers. We have this one, kind of a gesturing, thumbs up, and this is a closed fist. So that's all the extras. There really is not a lot. This is one of the simplest robot figures that I've ever gotten, particularly at this price. You know, I'm used to figures that are very, very complex, particularly like the Gundam figures that are just insanely complex. There are warnings in here because, you know, you get a lot of stuff moving around in plastic that's kind of, it's very close proximity, so you have to be very careful not to do some scuffing. And then it's got a warning in here on the base, which I'm going to show the base in just a moment. But first, I'll get a scale in here, and we'll see how much Samus weighs. All right, the figure weighs 14.2 ounces, so it's slightly less than a pound, but it's not light. It is a fairly dense figure. We have the instructions are super short, just 4 pages. There's everything included, and it talks about how to put the batteries in. Shows how to do that, and then it's got some stuff in here just showing the articulation And, warnings here, warning may rub. So you got to be careful with this stuff. And then shows how to replace the gun tip. All right. And so then we have the base. Now this piece here, when it came, it was perfectly straight. It is a stiff piece, so I had to apply some pressure in order to get it moved. This piece here gets removed from the back, and then this will go into there. And again, this is showing the warnings on here saying remove it when you're bending it. When bending the base support, be sure to remove the main unit and to please insert all the way. So mine is inserted all the way. And just warns against applying excessive force because you could damage it. So we're going to put Samus on there. Samus actually, it was a little difficult because Samus is actually hovering. So I need to kind of bend it down a little bit more, but it's a challenge. I'm not sure I care whether it's like a millimeter off the base, so it's kind of hovering there. But I think it looks really nice. I think it looks just gorgeous for what you get. I have never actually. So I recently replayed the Metroid Prime game, originally on the GameCube, and I got to tell you, I'm just not a fan of the game. I'm really not. Even though Metroid's a very popular series. We'll see how the Metroid Prime 4 is, because Metroid Prime, I would get lost. I didn't know where to go, and I would just be backtracking, and it just kind of got boring after a while. I got to the final boss and just fought him like 3 times and just quit. So I don't know. Here's the box. As much as I can show of it, I guess. Big warning on here about not eating the batteries. Always good advice. So it's a decent sized box, not huge. But I think this is a really nice figure. Even though, like I said, I wasn't a fan of the most famous game, the Metroid Prime. I think that if you are, or you just like great figures, I don't think too many people are going to be disappointed in this one. And I don't know if you can get a better price other than flying to Japan and picking it up there. But I did do some comparative shopping, although maybe I should have done a little bit more. But gorgeous figure. So this is Samus Aran from Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. This is by Bandai Namco as part of their Chogokin line.